Every great story starts with a choice, a risk, a spark. In this era of mobile games, success doesn't happen by accident, it's earned by the teams willing to look deeper, to think smarter, to understand not just how players play, but why they stay. The next billion-dollar game isn't some wild card hit, it's the result of disciplined design, sharp systems, and relentless empathy for the player. This isn't about growth hacks, it's about building meaning into every mechanic. And if you're ready to go there, to build not just games, but games that last, then this is for you. The stakes have never been higher. $110 billion on the table, but most of it locked away, captured by the few who've cracked the code. 10 titles. That's all it takes to own nearly a third of the market. They're not lucky, they're deliberate. This is the new playing field. It doesn't reward the biggest budgets, it rewards the smartest builders. And now, a shift is happening. Hybrid casual is emerging, not as a trend, but as a force, blending accessibility with depth, speed with systems. This is your opening, not to follow, to lead. Now, let's take a look at Monopoly Go. It started with a familiar board and a roll of the dice. But what Scopely built wasn't nostalgia. It was a machine. $2 billion in 10 months, 600 million from a single market, and user acquisition paying itself back in weeks, not months. This wasn't luck. It wasn't branding. It was precision. Monopoly Go is what happens when every moment in a game serves two masters, engagement and economics. It entertains, it earns, and it never breaks the illusion. Because when gameplay and monetization move in sync, players don't feel the system. They feel the reward. 7 years, that's how long it took to get it right. It began in 2016 under the codename Boardwalk, a prototype that didn't quite work, so they rebuilt, then rebuilt again. Most teams would have quit, moved on, chased something easier, but they stayed. They listened to the friction, they learned from failure, and piece by piece, they shaped something that could last. In April 2023, Monopoly Go launched. It didn't just win, it exploded. Months later, Scopely was acquired for $4.9 billion. That's not the story of a fast hit. That's the story of patience, craft, and conviction. Great games aren't just played, they're sustained. And the ones that last don't leave monetization to chance. They design it with intent. It starts with fit, not just global appeal, but local nuance. What works in New York won't always work in Mumbai. Then comes the flywheel. In-app purchases, ads, events, each one reinforcing the other, not competing, but compounding. Retention isn't a metric, it's a mindset. Players come back when the game gives them a reason to stay. Agentic optimization lets the system learn. It adapts, tunes, balances faster than any live team ever could. And in the end, it all has to pay back under 45 days, because sustainable games aren't just played by millions, they're profitable for years. This is the blueprint: 5 levers, 1 outcome. Games that don't just launch, they live. The rules have changed. It's no longer about who has the biggest team or the deepest pockets. It's about who moves faster, learns quicker, and adapts without ego. AI isn't the future, it's the co-pilot you should have had yesterday. Prototype faster, test more, throw away what doesn't work and build on what does. LiveOps isn't a calendar, it's a living, breathing product, one that grows with your players, not apart from them. Per player yield isn't a finance term, it's how you measure whether your game respects both time and value. You don't need to ship big, you need to ship smart. Small loops, big learning, constant motion. Because in 2025, the winners won't outspend, they'll outthink. The next generation of great games won't come from the biggest studios. They'll come from the boldest teams, the ones who build with clarity, with intent, with systems behind every screen tap. This isn't about chasing trends, it's about applying frameworks that work, about letting AI do more than optimize. It helps you listen, adapt, evolve, track what matters. Revenue isn't an outcome, it's a reflection of choices made at every feature level. You're not just designing games anymore, you're designing economies, behaviors, worlds that remember the player. And if you're thinking like a strategist, you're already ahead. You're not too late. You're right on time. Thanks for watching. If you found value here, follow iGamerJam. We study what works so you can build what lasts. Subscribe, stay curious, keep creating,